Take a look at question 21. In this problem, we're being assessed on how to simplify rational expressions, okay? Question 21 reads, which expressions are equivalent to x squared minus 4x divided by 2x, where x is not equal to 0? All right, so we have three rational expressions here, and we want to see which one are equivalent or equal to this expression that we have right here. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to use the simplification approach. We're going to start with the original problem, x squared minus 4x over 2x, and we're going to simplify it in two different ways. Okay, the first one will involve decomposition into two fractions and reduction, and then the other will involve factorization and then reduction. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and decompose this first into two fractions. So remember the idea with addition or subtraction of fractions. Basic arithmetic, right? A over b minus c over b is equal to a minus c over b. Okay? As long as the denominators are the same, what you do is you add or subtract the numerator and keep the denominator the same. So what if you have a minus c over b? You can decompose, you can reverse the process, right? So you just take the first term over the denominator minus the second term over the denominator. We're going to do exactly the same thing here. Okay? We're going to take the first term, which is x squared, divided by the denominator, minus the second term, which is 4x, divided by the denominator. All right? So we're reversing the difference of two fractions. Okay, so we've decomposed it. That's what the name is of the procedure we just executed. Now we're going to simplify. Okay, x squared divided by 2x. This is x to the first power. So if we're dividing this out, we have 1 over 2. So that 1 over 2 stays there. X squared divided by x to the first power. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract. Okay, so x to the first goes here once, and then you just subtract this power from the bigger one, minus 1. All right? Using the quotient property of exponents. Whenever you're dividing exponents with the same base, you subtract the powers. Okay, so we're going to have x to the 2 minus 1, which is just x to the first power, divided by 2. Okay, minus 4 over 2x. We can divide the numerator and the denominator by 2. So divide this by 2, divide that by 2, right? 4 divided by 2 is going to give us 2, and then 2 divided by 2 is 1. And the x's divide out also. So you just have x over 2 minus 2. And that's equivalent to option 1. So option 1 is good, is equivalent to the original expression. Now this was the decomposition and reduction approach. Now let's go ahead and use the factorization and reduction approach. Okay, so x squared minus 4x divided by 2x. Now we can factor out the GCF from the numerator. Okay, if you look at the numerator, we have x times x minus 4 times x divided by 2x. You notice that in the numerator, x and x is a common factor. So we can factor that out. X over x minus 4 divided by 2 times x. Now we can reduce. If we reduce, what do we get? X goes here once, x goes here once, and your final answer is x minus 4 over 2. That's the reduced form when we factor and reduce. That is equal or equivalent to this one right here, option 2. So option 1 and 2 are equivalent. Now how about option 3? Option 3 looks a little bit complicated. X minus 1 over 2 minus 3 over 2. We simplified the original problem using two methods, and we arrived at these two options right here. So we've already exhausted our possibilities, okay? So in order to attack this one right here, what we're going to do is we're going to work from the answer to the question. Let's simplify this completely and see if we arrive at the question. All right? Okay, so if you notice, we have two fractions with identical denominators, so what does that enable us to do? We have x minus 1. We just subtract the numerators, right? X minus 1 minus 3, and combine the denominator, minus 2 over 2. What does that become? X minus 1 minus 3 is negative 4. X minus 4 over 2. Hold on, wait a minute. This is exactly equal to option 2, which is equal to the original question. So guess what? Option 3 is also equivalent to x squared minus 4x over 2x. Okay? So the answer to question number 21, which expression is equivalent to this, is option 4, which is 1, 2, and 3. All right, so a question for you. Which simplification approach do you prefer? Option 1 or 2? In option 1, we decomposed and reduced. Option 2, we factored and reduced. So let us know which decomposition method you prefer and why. Just post your answer in the comment section below. Okay?